Warning, the following video may be a trigger for those who have experience with suicide, depression, or pure joy.
Hey guys, it's me, Jess, and some of you have noticed that I have been a wee bit quiet over here. And while I don't feel obligated to explain, the recent journey that I've embarked on has inspired me to share my journey, share my experience, in hopes that people who feel like they can't talk about their own journeys will feel a little more comfortable, a little more inspired to share their stories. And I want to make sure people don't think that there's one certain tone or way to talk about what we're going to talk about, which is like scary, hell, terrifying kind of stuff. So let's just go ahead, let's jump into it, because you've already got some pretty snazzy peeks behind the curtain from the title and the trigger warning at the beginning. So on Sunday, May 30th, 2016, I admitted myself with the encouragement and support of my family to an inpatient behavioral health facility for people out there who are not filling out insurance paperwork. That is a mental ward. I personally admitted myself for depression, anxiety, and suicidal plans. Now, these things have not affected my life overnight. If I had to trace them back to one particular time, I don't feel like I could, but I would have to say that I've been coping poorly with the symptoms of what I was diagnosed with in the hospital for about 15 years. So I spent 5 days in the hospital. Went in on a Sunday, I got out on Friday, and I met with a psychiatrist every day, and I went to multiple group sessions every single day to learn a little bit more about myself and a little bit more about other people who are suffering with my same disease or similar diseases. When I got into the hospital, the first course of action was to get me on medications that could help stabilize and regulate what was going on in my brain, and honestly, I could not be more grateful. So, up top, science. So I'm learning all these coping skills in session. I'm talking to psychiatrists. So I'm learning these new coping skills. I'm learning about myself. I'm learning about other people. I'm meeting with a psychiatrist every day. And what did my diagnosis ultimately end up being? I was diagnosed with general anxiety disorder as well as bipolar 2. Now, bipolar 2, no air quotes. Bipolar 2, okay, well, first off, I am not a doctor. We know this very well. And this is also like far from even WebMD. So this is not Dr. Google, no self-diagnosis zone right here, okay? For an example, for me, instead of having an episode where I stay awake for 5 days and I'm totally fine, I would much rather do nothing but sleep for 5 days. And I did do that on multiple occasions. And that's something that I needed more than just better organized time and meditation to cope with. I needed chemicals to help balance my whacked out chemicals. That's okay. If anyone ever tells you that taking medications is totally not good, not helpful, worse yet, that it's detrimentally harmful to your body, they're wrong. Please, 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 you should never, ever, I really can't emphasize it enough, never ever feel ashamed for your naturally failed processes of the human body. Not ever. Just stop feeling ashamed right this instant. Just flip the ashamed button off. It's not allowed. It did not get invited here. Their invitation got lost in the mail. So now that I'm out, now that I'm on the other side, I'm free of the terrible hospital food. I am still in Arizona. I'm going to be for a while because I've decided to participate in an intensive outpatient therapy, which means I am going 3 days a week for 3 hours every time, and it is absolutely changing my life. It is changing the way that I heal. It is changing the way that I handle things. It is changing the way that I function on a daily basis. I am learning so much about myself and finally making myself a priority in my own life. Is it scary? Yeah. Are there a bunch of unknowns? You bet. Am I happier? Yeah. Every day I'm happier because every day I'm healthier. And I think that if there's one thing that I've learned from all of this, is about the stigma of depression and anxiety and suicide. There's this societal nervousness when you learn that someone you know or you care about or love is suffering with these kinds of things. It's as if the moment they share that they're struggling, a dump truck of eggshells just falls at everyone's feet. I'm here to let those of you know who are struggling to talk to someone, to say it out loud, to ask for help, to push through the struggle and do it. Say the words. Say them to who you need to, not who you think will hear them, but who you need to have hear them. And for those of you who are watching this who might be listening, number 1, hug them, even if they hate hugs. 2, listen. That's it, just listen. And 3, treat them as you always have. They're not now this fragile porcelain tchotchke that needs to sit on a shelf for fear that they'll be dropped and shattered into a million pieces. They're the same person you've always known them as. The only difference is that now they're sharing the harder parts of themselves with you. My hope is that I can inspire those that are suffering and those living with the ones who are suffering, loving them, to take the static out of the lines of communication. And if you're sitting there right now and you're saying, Jess, I don't have anyone to talk to about the darkness in my mind, I'm here to tell you that there is somebody there to listen. I know a lot of you are in North America, the UK, and Australia, so I've linked suicide prevention websites in your local-ish areas down below. Please call them. If you need them, they're there. And I wanna go ahead and I wanna round this out, and I wanna speak specifically to those people who have considered suicide, attempted suicide, or fear that they may head down that road. Suicide does not end sadness. It prevents happiness. I love you all very, very much. Platonic butt taps. Mwah, 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 mwah.